all these people on the globe, with some of them, a lot of them, with no forms of written language, were describing giants in all of their mythos and all of their verbal pass downs, and the ones that could write wrote them down. But people still believe, and no one can debate the flood. The universal flood is globally accepted, that the earth, there was a great deluge that took place on the earth, right? It's universally accepted at this point, right? So no one can really say, hey, this ain't really a thing anymore. But I don't understand why people still can't wrap their minds around the fact that there were once giants who walked this earth. I don't understand it. And I guess that, some people maybe have to experience it themselves. Some people have to maybe see like a giant, skeleton laid across out for display. Maybe we'll get there one day. I mean, they have the bones underneath the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. So could that happen one day? But for me and a lot of people like me, man, that, we look at these things and we just, the evidence is just overwhelming, that these people were experiencing these giants. And now that we've got that historical portion out of the way, I'll even take it a step further. I think they're still here. And I think that they're hiding inside the earth. The Appalachian Mountains is where I grew up, and they're just littered with caves, right? And also, if you look at, I did an episode about how strange the Denver International Airport is. And there's been reports that there's Nephilim living underneath the Denver International Airport, which is one of the most terrifying places you can ever go, by the way. There's so much occult Freemason symbolism all over it. It's just wild. I've got videos on my channels that people have sent me of what appears to be giants climbing out of caves inside, at the Rocky Mountains as well. And then when I go and I read the book of Revelations, and another reason why that these are true events is because in Genesis it talks about giants being referred to as mighty men. You go to the end of the Bible and you start reading Revelations, it talks about it will start telling you about the Battle of Armageddon. In the Battle of Armageddon, it talks about the birds of the air feeding on the bodies of men and mighty men. Right. So when it says mighty men again, it's talking about the Nephilim. So we know that in the scriptures that there has to be a resurgence or a resurfacing of these giants. And also talks about those who live on the earth, which is us, those who live in the earth, which I think is the Nephilim, and those who live in the sea, which, if you've been paying attention to the UAP disclosure in Congress, they talk to you about how they say that there's 6 or 7 different species of something living in our oceans. In the book of Revelations, where do all the beasts come from? Out of the ocean. So it's all slowly being unpacked, slowly being, unfolded before us, right? And at this point, I would think that if you just want to reject, if you just want to reject it, then, there's nothing I or anybody else can do to you to convince you otherwise. However, the Magellan story was real. It was documented. Wasn't written by him at all. He didn't even survive the trip at all. It was written by Antonio Pigafetta, the official chronicler of the story by Spain. And so your theory that Magellan was just trying to hype his image up didn't happen because he didn't make it back. Number 2, the theory that they were just really tall dudes. Nope, didn't happen because they talked about those tribes in his memoirs as well. Number 3, he named them the area Patagonia, which stands for big feet, after the giants that he saw on that. Number 4, there was no reason whatsoever to keep this area hidden from the English or, whoever, because there was nothing there. This area was desolate. There was nothing there for them to want. It wasn't like he, found something that they needed. So that's out the door as well. So at this point, if you still don't agree with me, get in the comments, and you better give me a good reason, because I'm done being nice with some of you trolls, and I will start blowing your hair back a little bit and letting you have it as well to get into it. But as for this guy, I believe that giants were real. I believe that they still are currently real in one shape or form or the other. I think our government has known about it as a long time.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.